Holla Peeps, it's your girl Cherie, reporting live for SchreeTV. Back again, holla. Still drinking coffee. I've actually killed a little over 3 cups. Or three quarters of a pot, should I say.
And while they witnessed a great deal of political discord, today they will also see Congress reaching a historic bipartisan agreement we all think of with a default on the nation's bills.
Oh wait, I gotta hear Harry Reid. You know, in high school I didn't really like politics. It wasn't really my thing. And now, politics is the main news, which means I have to pay attention and actually learn. I feel like I'm in history class. Like the Senate, and what are they doing? What the hell are they doing?
Listening to the American people, but unfortunately, the United States Senate has refused to do likewise. The United States Senate has stayed with the traditional approach of the Washington establishment of maintaining the status quo and doing nothing to respond to the suffering that Obamacare is causing millions of Americans.
A senior GOP Senate aide says the Senate is expected to vote on a compromise tonight, maybe after dinner. If the House also agrees,
They're going to vote on a compromise after dinner. After dinner.
Wall Street, though, breathing a sigh of relief when word came down about the Senate deal, and you saw it. The Dow's up 200 points.
The Dow's up 200 points. That's good.
Political columnist and a chillin contributor joins me now. Jason, always good to see you. What do you think about this? Is it just a temporary solution? And when you think ahead to January, is this just really
cheers.
It's not being postponed. I think it's a sad indicator as to what we've been
My last cup of coffee.
The idea that we're praising one senator for deciding he's not going to disrupt the entire economy of the world.
Then I'm going to switch to near beer.
Normally, we're not even thinking in terms of what would work best. So, well, I think
I'm tired of drinking coffee now. I don't want any juice.
Decisions can be made that benefit the country. We never should have been here to begin with, and I think that's something that a lot of members of Congress should be looking at themselves in the mirror and saying, what can I do to keep this from happening again? This is not what our government should do.
Yeah, great point. I also want to talk to you about the long-term damage. Meanwhile, I want to get the president's reaction from gay party listeners.
The president believes that the bipartisan agreement announced by the leaders of the United States Senate will reopen the government and remove the threat of economic brinksmanship that has already harmed middle-class families, American businesses, and our country's economic standing in the world. The president applauds Leader Reid and Minority Leader McConnell for working together to forge this compromise and encourages the Congress to act swiftly to end this shutdown and protect the full faith and credit of the United States of America.
Yeah, Jason, really, in general, people are furious about this, wondering why this agreement couldn't have been reached sooner, and Mitch McConnell earlier...
They really could have reached an agreement sooner. They didn't have to...
But let's talk about the long-term damage in terms of both Republicans and Democrats, and really the government as a whole.
Well, the long-term damage nationally is huge. My friends in Germany, my friends in England, people...
Oh, that's sad when they show the veterans, you know, sitting outside the gates looking in. You know, they're in their wheelchairs.
We have a government that is run by a small minority in the House that disrupts everything for everybody else.
Yeah, of course, that's going to make it like, oh, you know, you have to open the park, man.
The long-term damage to this country is very key. Politically, it seems to have hurt Republicans a bit more than it's hurt Democrats, but ultimately, it harms this country.
At least let the guy in the wheelchair go in. You know what I mean? Ain't even right.
Well, the long-term positive is this, and again,
So apparently the president met with the Senate this morning. And there's a deal on the table that would fund the government through January the 15th.
Win some elections, we can negotiate, but you cannot use shutting down the government, and you cannot use the debt ceiling as a negotiating tactic whenever you don't get what you want. And I think long-term, setting that message forth not only saves this presidency, but every other presidency for the next generation.
Excellent point. You said you look the right way or don't do it at all.
They showed people making food. I wonder if that's their dinner. It looked good, too. What you sound one song.
The first one is your next ed. It stops lunch. There goes your 401k and other investments as well. So is your 401k safe? Now, the deal so far looks to be okay, as we saw on Wall Street. But what about your job? Recession, of course, still jobs. Your line, if it's...
Let me see what Shepard's talking about.
On Main Street, here's what you're seeing. 40% of people think they're spending less because of the shutdown. And Social Security payments, big payment due next week, $12 billion. 44 million of us rely on that money to live week to week. 58 million of us, 95 actually receive those payments. And finally, there's welfare benefits, right? North Carolina, the state of North Carolina is saying, we're not giving out benefits in November, not yet anyway, because we don't know what's happening with the federal government.
So is a deal and a fix and an extension of all this to February and December, depending on the part, is that a fix on all this? Can we bungee forward here? Does everything come back together?
Well, I think everybody would like to see a real deal, but that doesn't seem to be in the offing. Not by a long shot. We're still waiting for better news than this, and frankly, we don't even know if this is going to work.
No, we don't. We won't know until it votes. She's not even warm enough backstage at that lady.
She wants to
We're ready for she can have ours.
And this Obamacare.
Parents of a teenage suspect in a cyberbullying case in the state of Florida claims somebody hacked their daughter's Facebook account. That's the excuse today. She's one of two girls facing charges after another girl killed herself.
Yeah, some girl jumped off of a silo or something. I gotta read into that story.
And yes, she's dead, but I don't give up. The suspect's mother tells ABC News that message did not
Rebecca.
her daughter.
She jumped off of a silo.
No, she wouldn't write anything like that. She's not that type of girl that would just say something like that.
Police arrested that girl and the 12
Bullying on the internet.
Here on Monday. They're both now facing charges of felony aggravated assault. The sheriff there says
when I was a kid, we didn't have the internet.
This child, Rebecca Sedgwick.
Thank God.
Last month, police say she climbed a tower at an abandoned concrete plant.
I'm like, oh my God.
To her death. She would have been 13 years old this weekend. Steve Harrigan is
she was 12.
In Lakeland, Florida for us this afternoon, and it's my understanding, Steve, that you spoke to the child's mother this morning. Is that right?
That's right, Shepard.
12 years old, jumped off the silo.
The mother said she is speaking out in order to try and spare others the pain she is going through, a pain which she says is worse now than it was a month ago when her 12-year-old daughter committed suicide.
That hurt.
She left a big hole. She really did.
You gotta stop bullying. October is National Anti-Bullying Month.
It's all beginning because of the arrest, it kind of opened up the rooms and made it fresh again. But at the same time, it brings some kind of relief because they're finally listening. I hate
no bullying in schools.
This happening before people started listening.
Bully when you get out.
The mother said it's been especially hard on Rebecca's brothers and sisters.
No bullying. It's not nice.
And it happened, it's my understanding, Steve, in that tower over your left shoulder there.
I was bullied.
That's right, Shepard. That's the tower right there.
3rd and 4th grade.
A 12-year-old girl, just over 5 feet tall, just over 100 pounds.
I even wrote a blog about it.
She climbs that.
I'm tired of drinking this coffee. Wait a minute, I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Rebecca, so the police found her body here at 2:30 in the morning. This case is personal.
I came here and saw that a 12-year-old child, a baby, younger than some of my grandchildren, jumped off this tower to her death. And I wanted to know why. And I found out why. Because ultimately she was bullied. She was a fragile child to begin with.
I was bullied. I was a fragile child.
Of the two suspects,
You know.
one is already back at home. The other remains in a juvenile detention center.
Robert, Steve Harris was locked up in Lakeland, Florida, this afternoon. Steve, thank you. Well, celebrity billionaire Mark Cuban accused of breaking the rules with one of his investments. And now a jury is deciding whether the owner of the Dallas Mavericks, among other things, is guilty of insider trading. And if he is, what happens to him? That's coming up from the Fox News desk on a hump day afternoon. Great to have you with us.
Hump day, yeah! Hopefully, baby will wake up any moment.
This person you've known. We gave people a sticker and had them show us. We learned a lot of us have known someone who's lived well into their 90s, and that's a great thing.
Trying to wake her up.
Even though we're living longer, one thing that hasn't changed much is the official retirement age. The question is, how do you make sure you have the money you need to enjoy all of these years?
Across America, people are taking charge of their type 2 diabetes with non-insulin Victoza. For a while, I took a pill to lower my blood sugar, but it didn't get me to my goal. So I asked my doctor about Victoza. He said Victoza is different than pills. Victoza is proven to lower blood sugar and A1C. It's taken once a day, anytime. It comes in a pen. And the needle's thin. Victoza is not for weight loss, but it may help you lose some weight. Victoza is an injectable
SchreeTV, where we just get to chill and hang out.
Diabetes when used with diet and exercise. It is not recommended as the first medication to treat diabetes and should not be used in people with type 1 diabetes or diabetic ketoacidosis. Victoza has not been studied with mealtime insulin. Victoza is not insulin. Do not take Victoza if you have a personal or family history of medullary thyroid cancer, multiple endocrine neoplasia
Very
syndrome
good
type
for
2,
the
or
throat.
if you are allergic to Victoza or any of its ingredients. Symptoms of a serious allergic reaction may include swelling of face, lips, tongue, or throat, fainting or dizziness, very rapid heartbeat, problems breathing or swallowing, severe rash or itching. Tell your doctor if you get a lump or swelling in your neck. Serious side effects may happen in people who take Victoza, including inflammation of the pancreas, pancreatitis, which may be fatal. Stop taking Victoza and call your doctor right away if you have signs of pancreatitis, such as severe pain that will not go away in your abdomen or from your abdomen.
Why would anybody want to take any of these drugs on TV
Tell your doctor about all
with
the
the side
benefits you
effects?
take and if you have any medical conditions. Taking Victoza with a sulfonylurea or insulin may cause low blood sugar. The most common side effects are nausea, diarrhea, and headache. Some side effects can lead to dehydration, which may cause kidney problems. If your pills have given you the control you need, ask your doctor about non-insulin Victoza. It's covered by most health plans.
A jury in Dallas will soon decide whether the billionaire basketball owner and entrepreneur Mark Cuban is guilty of insider trading. Deliberations are underway right now. Mark Cuban, of course, is the outspoken owner of the NBA's Dallas Mavericks. He has, among other things, many successful business ventures. And he's also one of the star investors on the hit show Shark Tank. You may have seen it. But the Securities and Exchange Commission claims Mark Cuban used insider information to dump millions of dollars worth of stock back in the year 2004, after the company's CEO allegedly tipped him off. One of Mark Cuban's attorneys told jurors yesterday that the Securities and Exchange Commission's case is built on misleading comments, and that it's an example of the federal government's running amok. The line with seems to work well these days. Trace Gallagher is live on West Coast News Hub this afternoon. Hey, explain more of these accusations, if you would, Trace.
Well, back in 2004, Mark Cuban owned about 6% of a company called Mama.com, which was a Canadian search engine trying to compete with Google. And the former CEO of that company said he had a phone conversation with Mark Cuban where he said that the company was going to sell the stock to a private investor at a 10% discount. That would have cost Mark Cuban some money, but the former CEO says Cuban agreed not to sell the stock, then turned around and dumped it anyway for some $7.9 million. Cuban says he never promised he would not sell the stock, and he also says the information the former CEO gave him was all public knowledge anyway. Jeff.
It sounds like it's the CEO's word versus Mark Cuban's word and little else.
Yeah, and that CEO, former
I like Shepard Smith. It's a good show. But he's not talking about the government. Which is what I really want to hear about. Oh, there's Anderson. I like Anderson. That's what I want to hear about.
The people of Bell seems to be assuming a lot more than these days. Perhaps because it's interest in a lot more than refresh your style by store one, buy one to get one free.
Hello.
I remember the day my doctor said I had diabetes. There's a lot I had to do. Watch my diet, stay active, start insulin. Today I learned that there's something I don't have to do anymore. My doctor said that with Novolog FlexPen, I don't have to use a syringe or vial or carry a cooler. FlexPen comes pre-filled with fast-acting insulin used to help control high blood sugar with wheat. Dial the exact dose. Inject by pushing a button. No drawing from vial. You should eat a meal within 5 to 10 minutes after injecting Novolog. Insulin aspartic RDMA origin injection. Do not use if your blood sugar is too low or if you're allergic to any of its ingredients. The most common side effect is low blood sugar, which may cause symptoms such as sweating, shakiness, confusion, and headache. Severe low blood sugar can be serious and life-threatening. Ask your healthcare provider about alcohol use, operating machinery, or driving. Other possible side effects include injection site reactions and low potassium in your blood. Tell your healthcare provider about all medicines you take and all of your medical conditions. Get medical help right away if you experience serious allergic reactions such as body rash, trouble with breathing, fast heartbeat, or sweating. FlexPen is insulin delivery my way. Covered by most insurance plans, including Medicare. Find your copay costs at myflexpen.com. Ask your healthcare provider about Novolog FlexPen today.
Some of the most extraordinary human beings on the planet. More human than you've ever seen them. The end of the game is just the start of the story.
Unguarded with Rachel Nicholas, starting October 25th, Friday night at 10:30 on CNN. Eligible for Medicare? That's a good thing. But it doesn't cover everything. Only about 80% of your Part B medical expenses. The rest is up to you. So consider an AARP Medicare Supplement Insurance Plan, insured by United Healthcare Insurance Company. Like all standardized Medicare Supplement Insurance plans, they could save you an out-of-pocket medical costs. Call today to request a free decision guide. With these types of plans, you'll be able to visit any doctor or hospital that accepts Medicare patients. Plus, there are no networks and virtually no referrals needed.
Baby is still sleeping peacefully. Maybe I'll crawl into bed with her. Crawl in bed with her and then come back a little later.
With all the good years ahead, look for the experience and commitment to go the distance with you. Call now to request your free decision guide.
I'm Christiana Montour, and this is CNN.
Hey, welcome back.
Here we go. My boy Anderson.
Reaching a deal to reopen. The government, as you know, raised the debt ceiling. Right now, House Republicans, who put up the biggest fight, obviously, are meeting behind closed doors to discuss the next step.
Alright, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and close this video out for right now. It's your girl Cherie signing out for SchreeTV, where we kick it. Holla. Love you guys.
What is the future for House Speaker John Davis?